racine de l'intégration de la communauté égyptienne au Canada, mais au-delà de ça, de renforcer les liens entre la communauté égyptienne et la patrie d'origine, l'Égypte. Que Dieu vous bénisse et vous protège. Distinguished guests, this is our first National Day event since our arrival in September last. We were fortunate to attend many National Days, and we had truly cherished sharing the joy and pride. The one thing we retain, however, as a lesson learned, is to be brief and to the point. This is more of a task. Tonight, as the program is multifaceted and deliberately tailored not to be an ambassador's all-exclusive performance. So my promise is to give it my best shot. When I assumed responsibility as Egypt's ambassador 10 months ago, I was cognizant of the challenging nature of the assignment in the midst of monumental and historic transformations in Egypt. By virtue of 2 consecutive revolutions in 2.5 years, the disposition of 2 presidents, the overthrow of 2 autocratic and theocratic regimes, a failed experience or experiment in political Islam, and the turnover of at least a dozen governments since 2011. But then again, in the aftermath of the corrective revolution in 2013, a recalibration of our foreign policy has been set to adapt the requirements of post-revolution Egypt in rising up to the challenge of being a true reflection of its value and tenets. The spirit of the new Egypt, as it firmly stands in upholding its natural role by virtue of both history and geography, emanates from a collective sentiment that new beginnings are upon us. And hence, the conduct of our regional and international relations had to encompass this expectation. As proud Egyptians, we believe that the unified nation that our forefathers built thousands of years ago should always be a force for the good of humanity. This being a national vocation that transcends the limiting contours of not only our political affiliations, our economic inclinations, and our social intricacies, but also and deeper into the realm of philanthropy, our very physical existence, both as proud people striving to preserve the brightness of the 2 colors of their identity, and as a great nation reconciled with its peaceful self, its present and its past, serene about the prospects of its promising future. We are resolute in our quest to explore new horizons for a better tomorrow. As a testament, in March last, Egypt has hosted Sharm el-Sheikh a huge and ambitious economic conference, whereby all our global partners took part, including Canada. Among the number of mega economic projects that were announced, including the announcement of a new capital, very soon, on August 6th, we will be celebrating the opening of a new waterway expanding the Suez Canal, a signature moment in the history of Egypt and a significant milestone for global commerce. This first significant expansion of the Suez Canal in its 146-year history has already had a positive impact on global economy. Construction involved 6 dredging firms from Belgium to Holland, the UAE, and the United States. The expansion has already contributed to spurring a port construction boom from Singapore and Ghana to Rotterdam and Savannah, in anticipation of increased shipping and freight handling and greater trade volumes. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt and Canada. Last year, both countries celebrated the 60th anniversary of the commencement of their diplomatic relations. These relations have been based on mutual respect, appreciation to common value intersects, and shared interests, but also on a convergence of views regarding most, international and regional issues, and on the broad range of areas of bilateral cooperation, including in the fields of trade, development, investment, and culture, all of which served the healthy and steady growth of relations over the past 6 decades, and promises much more as we project into the future. Today, and at the forefront of our close coordination, figures our enduring determination and unwavering resolve to fearlessly and vigorously combat extremism and terrorism. Both countries, being victims of terror and violence, have vowed, as partners in the global alliance, to deploy all necessary resources to uproot and defeat this evil menace, including through a well-calibrated religious, cultural, and intellectual endeavor by beacons of moderation, aiming at eradicating a destructive ideology that fuels despicable hatred and violence, to which the sanctity of religion remains irreproachable and innocent. Among you this evening is a visiting military delegation from Egypt. I wholeheartedly salute them for their integrity and patriotism, as the institution they proudly serve has consciously chosen twice in 2011 and 2013 to align itself with the masses of Egypt by embracing their resolved will, protecting and preserving it, and seeing it through. In closing, allow me, along with my wife Ada, to once again, I was asked how many times will I mention my wife in my speech, so I was saying, Ella. Once again extend a very warm welcome and thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. I'd also like to thank all my colleagues and staff at the embassy and at the residence. I would further like to thank the Egyptian Canadian community for their support and encouragement. Without them all, this celebration would have not been possible. To my fellow compatriots, Arab and Muslim brethren, a blessed and joyful feast of Eid al-Fitr. Kull sana wa antum tayyibin. Hope you will all enjoy samples of Egyptian cuisine made by our exquisite chef, and cherish select Egyptian music and songs during an exclusive live performance graciously volunteered by Tonya, her choir and fairy. Long live Egypt, vive l'Egypte, tahya Misr.
Thank you, Ambassador. We will now all rise for the Canadian and Egyptian national anthems.